Let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. If you would, join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for who you are. You alone are good, Lord. We thank you for that. Father, we pray that you be with this meeting, that you conduct it in a manner that brings you glory. And we lift our city up to you, Lord, that everything continues to go well. We ask you to forgive us where we failure in our individual walks, Lord. In Christ's name we pray.
Roll call. Here. 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 Okay, the first item of business is approval of tonight's agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So
Got a motion by Erica. Do I hear a second?
Let's get set.
Okay, second by Mark. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, and that's approved. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes for the August 26th and September 9th meetings? Got a motion by Jeremy. Do I hear a second? Second by Erica. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Those are approved. Next item is the financials, and those are not available tonight in the packet. They're still being worked on. So I would entertain a motion to table both the city and water and sewer financials. Got a motion by Jeremy. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mike. And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. That's approved. So those are tabled. Department reports, fire department.
The biggest thing of news we've got this month is the county's buying us a new engine. It's a 2025 Bounce fire engine. It should be here in about 2 weeks. So, told the mayor last week, I think, when I found out. But I've been pleading with the county for the last several months to get us an engine, and it worked, I guess. So, that'll help on the engine status for a little while. We'll still have to replace the other one that's 3 years old here in the next year or two, but that's a big plus of having that new engine. We're looking at the one we bought from the county a few months ago for like $18,000 or whatever it was to pay for the maintenance or to get it fixed that we purchased from the county that they gave it to us. I might be looking at selling it to Elm Springs because we're going to run out of room in our bays. So, and I'll bring that back to the council as soon as we figure something out on that. But it'd still be our engine, just belong to Elm Springs. Any questions?
Anything else? Thank you.
Yep.
Chief, what's your pancake breakfast?
Oh, pancake breakfast October 4th
Okay.
from 6 to 10.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is the police report.
Good evening. Apologize on behalf of Chief Chrisman. He is still out. He should be back tomorrow morning, bright eyed and bushy tailed. He sends his regards. You all have the statistics for last month. If you have any questions, that's about all we've got going on. Thank you all.
Thank you. Next is planning report.
Good evening.
So planning report for month of September, or items we got going, or sorry. The planning items that we have going forward for the month of October are the preliminary plat for the Trillium subdivision and the rezoning for Darrell and Teresa Bush. We also are still working on the, master street plan, future land use plan updates. Both of these are old items that's been tabled previously, and it's things that, just had some minor things that need to be worked on. But the September city council items that, we discussed at the work session are still the other two rezonings, the PZD for the C&K engineering. This is the one that's at the intersection of Ford and Highway 264. The commission voted to affirm this proposed rezoning and move that PZD to the city council. And then we have the rezoning for James and Cindy Weir, the 116 Rainbow Road. And this was the 40 acres that the planning commission also affirmed to be rezoned to R3 and move that on the city council. So those are the ones y'all will be looking at tonight. We can discuss that later, and I have stuff that we can put up on the board if we want to when we get to that point. And then just the general updates was we're still working with Garber on our zoning document. We've also met regarding the master street plan, future land use plan. Met with the planning commission at the meeting last Monday night. We've got some minor changes we're going to make as far as one area south of town on the Ford area and kind of some collector streets that we were proposing run through there, maybe changing those to just local connections and letting those run through. So, but we're going to let the planning commission make that determination at their next meeting in 2 weeks. So, unless y'all have any specific questions or anything else, we can come back to the rezonings that y'all have before we get to that point.
I have a question
Yes, sir.
on the attachments to this one, that one up there.
Mm-hmm.
On the front, it says, if I'm reading it correctly, on number 2 under September, R3. Is that correct? And then on the attachment, it says R4.
Yes, so they have amended their proposal at the meeting to change it from R4 to R3. So that's why it's showing up differently down there for y'all's items. But the planning commission had voted to affirm the R3 zoning coming before y'all, and that's what your ordinance shows is R3.
Okay.
Yeah, we verified that with Justin on I think last week when we was looking at all that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Next item is water and sewer.
Hello, everyone. The open work orders are looking good. We have one potential leak. We're waiting on ARWA to come back out and leak detect to confirm that leak, and if they do, we'll fix it. And then they're going to be continuing leak detection when they do come into town, so hopefully they'll find more for us to fix. But right now, that's the only one that we're aware of. We still have one open position, but we've extended an offer to a gentleman, so hopefully by next meeting that will be filled. The water loss went down to 37%. Likely a big portion of that was the Allen Street line replacement, where we took out that section of galvanized pipe. We have found a few other areas that are galvanized, which are likely the biggest culprits for water loss. A section is going to be replaced when RDOT comes through with the highway, and the other section we're working on a game plan to get those customers tied into our PVC line, because they now have access to 2 lines, and so we'll abandon that area with galvanized. So, any questions?
Thank you.
I just want to make a statement that the water loss down to 37% for August, which is great. That's the right move. We did discuss during our meeting that perhaps we gotta look at it next budget, adding some staffing for water and sewer, since the town is growing. However, the staffing has not changed already.
Thank you all.
Engineers report.
Good evening. So the NACA lift station project reached substantial completion on that, I believe, yesterday. That's kind of the main update that's done from water and sewer related items. As far as other engineering items, the RDOT tap for the west wall of Scarlet Sands Road sidewalk project, RDOT has approved the design, and so we just got a few items from there to sign, and we'll be able to get that advertised soon. Traffic signal. So the poles should have been manufactured and completed back September 19th, and construction is tentatively scheduled to begin September 29th, subject to the easements impact. And also, Daniel provided the mayor and Will some guidance on where we're going to go with evaluating, as far as handling drainage recommendations. So we got that to the mayor for
Thank you. Attorney's report.
Good evening, council. A couple items. One is the coffee shop lease that's on the agenda. I did receive a signed copy of that from the tenant, and so if we'll approve that tonight, then that'll be ready for signature. At the October work session, I think we talked about the previous work session, bringing forward the franchise, the revised franchise ordinances for Black Hills Gas, for Swepco and Carroll Electric, and for Brightspeed. And we didn't do that because I was still struggling to get something back from Swepco and Carroll Electric. A lot of person Swepco and they didn't get contact. So I think we're ready for the October meeting. The idea would be that we bring forward to you in the work session in October for approval in the October meeting later at the end of the month, and then for the new rates to go into effect on January. But good time, 2 months lead time for utilities to change out the first that factor. Otherwise, we're working on a number of easement, right-of-way type issues over the last month on acquiring, along with various other things that we have on our agenda. Are there any questions for me?
Thank you.
Thanks. Next item is clerk treasurer's report. Okay. Next item is the mayor's report. On September 6th, we held the Northwest Arkansas Housing Supply and Affordability Summit in this building. We had a great turnout with everyone from senators and congressmen, reps, state and senators and reps, mayors, planners, building inspectors, developers, builders, and finance officers. The conversation was open and very informative, and I do want to thank the Municipal League, Northwest Arkansas Regional Planning and Groundworks for their assistance in that endeavor, and the Municipal League is continuing the discussion with other regional meetings around the state. And on the weekend of October 10th and 11th, we plan to have our fall cleanup, where that's the date that's looking like that's when that will happen. So that's all I've got at this time. Next item is public comments. Anyone? All right then. Follow-up questions on the lift station update. I think you mentioned a few minutes ago, we have just recently completed it, and we're in the final workup of the financials and closing out the grant and the finance with A&RC. So we're coming to the end of that project. In drainage, Daniel was working on some drainage items. Don't really have a lot of information there, except that he is moving forward with some of the design and discussion on options there. Next item on the agenda is new business, a resolution authorizing the rate of property tax for the city of Cave Springs for 2025. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Got a motion by MC. Do I hear a second? Second by Mark. Is there any discussion?
For the record, it's staying the same, correct?
It is staying exactly the same.
I just wanted that.
Yes, it's staying at 2.57 mils.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. And that did pass. Is it 48? Okay. Next item is a resolution approving the lease agreement with the coffee house. Do I hear a motion to approve? Got a motion from MC. Do I hear a second? Second by Jeremy. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. And it's approved. That's 2025-49. Next item is the resolution to set forth authorized signers for the bank accounts. Do I hear a motion to approve? Got a motion by Mike. Do I hear a second? Second by Jeremy. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. That one is approved. It's item 2025-50. Next item is a resolution approving real estate exchange agreement between, or basically for the water tower location. Do I hear a motion to approve? Got a motion by Mark. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Erica. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign. And that one's approved. That's 2025-51. Next item is the resolution to amend the 2025 budget. Do I hear a motion to approve? If we could, I'd like a motion so we can discuss.
Second motion, so.
Okay, motion by MC, do I hear a second? Second by Jeremy. And I'll open the floor with, for discussion, and I'll just point out what I'm doing here. I've been working on the financials and looking at the midterm budget. Everything appears to be adjustable, but I found a couple of things. One is that most of this did not reflect the updated resolutions and things throughout the year. This brings it current. I didn't add anything, but I did subtract one item, which is it's a withholding that was showing on there for the for an insurance product. And so I just took that off because we don't show withholdings within a budget. And then I really want to give our new finance director a opportunity to start with something clean and fresh that was just approved. I did not add anything to any department. I did not deduct anything except what I just noted. So that is my reasoning in bringing this at this time. I would have made you aware of a couple of minor adjustments and moved on, because I think we're good till the end of the year from what I'm seeing. That was, nothing here has really changed except that one item.
So, I have a question. So since we don't have the financial, how do we make these changes?
This is the budget. The financials didn't have these changes put in for the year. And so that's why we've been tabling them. This is just a review of the budget itself, and I went through and spent the last 2 weeks making sure that every resolution was added to it and every ordinance that affected funding was added to it, and I changed nothing else.
Nothing else will change.
Nothing else, except that one line I mentioned that really shouldn't be budgeted.
So if anything is in financial, that's not reflected in that later on, it should be.
The financials we bring to, I'll be bringing the financials to the next work session. This will give Carl the chance to load this and to be able to bring everything up to date and to come to the work session with and discuss those financials with them.
So all the resolution that we have passed and everything is.
Are reflected in this. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. And that did pass. That's 2025-52. Next item is an ordinance to rezone approximately 7 acres with the PZD at the corner of Fort Wayne and 264. Do I hear a motion to suspend the rules and place this on third and final reading by title only?
So.
Got a motion by MC, do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Jeremy. Roll call.
Mark?
Yes.
Erica? Yes. Jeremy?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
MC?
Yes.
Can you look again, ordinance number again?
Sure. It's 2025-18.
Ordinance number 2025-18, City of Cave Springs, Benton County, Arkansas, an ordinance to rezone approximately 7.04 acres located at parcel number 05-10002-002 from neighborhood commercial C3 to the planned zoning district PZD in the City of Cave Springs, Arkansas.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Got a motion from MC, do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Jeremy. Any discussion?
Yes. I think they did a wonderful job here, but there's 2 concerns I have since it's going right next to the townhomes and in between Ridgewood and Brentwood. I personally don't think it's a good idea to have a bar. It says bar, lounge, or tavern. I understand the tavern, but having a bar open late, I don't think is really conducive for that area. And same with the dance hall. We have a dance hall, I'm assuming maybe wedding dances or a space to rent, something along those lines. I don't think that would be very conducive for that area as well. And then had a micro brewery/restaurant, I would worry about cutoff time for that. Those are my concerns with this. Otherwise, I feel it's wonderfully put together. I just need to think of the residents and the town, the future residents of the townhome. We also have Hillcrest going up there. We have this other development going up on Rainbow beside Ridgewood. So those are my 3 concerns with this.
Couple of questions. On the drawing?
Yes, sir.
Here. Is that the potential pond?
Future location on this potential.
So, where will all this rainwater drain?
Like it's going to be holding to the pond. It'll drain the same location that it does at the same rate, like out in area. But that's speculation because these aren't drawings and we're not there. This is just so it's really not the time to ask that question.
So we could eventually have more water running down
No, I mean,
No?
not more necessarily. I mean, because that's what the pond is for, is to hold it, you know, and release it at the rate speed.
In the 200-year floods, if this would have been there, we wouldn't have had extra water running down the highway?
I don't know, that's for the engineer to figure out. As far as, you know, once they get to the actual development stage of it.
I think,
I mean, they're just showing that as a future location for pond, but I mean, they haven't done the engineering yet because we're still in the zoning entitlement stage of this.
We're just voting on zoning, right?
Yes, sir.
So the rest of this is up to the planning commission?
I mean, it's up to the ordinances and the codes that the city put in place, you know, the drainage manual updates and everything, and, you know, the engineering to review.
I understand.
Yeah.
Up to the engineers and the planning commission.
Yes. Yeah.
Good luck, Eric.
But what do we do about these concerns? Can we strike these? The council, do you have an opinion on a bar, dance hall, a light brewery, restaurant? Not so concerned about that, it's a good shut-up time, just kind of like Boston Phoenix, and open until midnight. What, is this the time to address this? Like now, striking these things?
I would say it would have been the time to address it at the work session when they could have had it addressed before we came to this point for the
I
voting.
expressed my concern
But
about the tavern,
I
bar.
would say that Justin would probably weigh in on
Can
that.
I ask you a question? Erica, are you looking on?
I'm looking at their,
The director's
Yeah,
report,
the
on
comments.
page.
it doesn't have a page.
Exhibit D.
It's the,
Exhibit B, allowance commercial uses.
yeah,
Doesn't that reflect it as an additional use?
Yes, all those items are conditional uses.
that's what I was
All of
thinking.
them are commercial
Exactly,
uses.
this
That's what I was going
Yeah.
to ask, is that what we're looking at? So,
Yes, so I guess I don't, so is that still something that council could, that they need to prevent that we would still have control over, or is it something that you need to strike now? Those are just my concerns.
you know, are you the applicant, sir?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not asking this question too, but, so I guess these are the available uses that would be there. Should they want to do a conditional use, it has to come through a whole different process through the city in order to get a conditional use permit. At that point,
Who would issue that though?
what's that?
Who would issue the permit though?
The conditional use goes to, planning commission,
Board of Zoning Adjustment, yeah.
it goes to BOZA.
I think it's a BZA, Board of Zoning Adjustment. I may be wrong, it's the same group either
It
way.
goes to planning commission. If it's denied or there's an agreed party, they can appeal that to the city council. But most of the conditional use permits go to planning commission, and at that point, planning commission is able through the code to put certain conditions on there, like hours of operation,
Okay, so
no
it isn't.
outside noises, kind of, you know, it's designed to address uses that may have impact on neighboring properties. So your dance hall example, let's say like no decibels over, or no outside music, or, you know, whatever.
Okay, so it has another chance, this isn't just,
That is correct.
and I did bring up the bar, lounge, and tavern
Yes.
last meeting.
And we talked about how there were conditional use
So
in the
that's,
last meeting also.
yes, but, I didn't have the actual definition, so, okay.
And those are all things that are currently allowed in the existing zoning as it is under C3. So they just set it up for conditional
Ask a
use.
question.
Yes, sir.
Not my full support, I think is what she's asking, but she did bring it in last meeting.
Yes, sir.
And we did discuss it, and we did explain that, and I understand that too. That when you do PCD, this conditional usage can be adjusted for the C3. Because it was a PCD, it wasn't just regular change use zone. So if you wanted to take something off this list, you could have done it.
Oh, yes, I mean, that
I'm just
again,
saying that I don't want people just think that we're
Yes.
not able to, when you do PCD, that was one of the benefits that you guys were saying we're doing PCD, that if we want to change something, we can change it.
oh, yeah,
But
absolutely.
now, we didn't change it, she did bring it in the work session. I just, comfortable with hearing that she didn't bring it to the work session.
I think it was probably handled at the work session through the discussion of being a conditional use approval. I imagine that's what it was. But I would have to let the applicant speak to that. I mean, it's their application.
I think it'd be good to have the applicant speak to it on what their,
Yeah.
what their plans are specifically with regard to those particular uses.
Yes, we don't have any plans for those uses. We just want to have those options sometime in the future. And we put in conditional use, so they would have to come back to the city to make sure we had all the conditions specifically that the city wanted for those approvals to come through. Because those can't be done without coming back to the city, and conditional use would put hours or any conditions on there, as we discussed. I think during the work session, I thought we were good with the fact that as long as it had come back through the city, that the bar and tavern stuff could be left on there, but it still had to be approved through the city and meet all the requirements. That's my understanding.
I was perfectly fine with tavern, I'm not okay with bar. That is my personal opinion, and I'm not
I think my understanding was that I think she brought it up, and we discussed that we had PCD. In fact, we went through this, I asked for a list of things, and we discussed it. We can go back to the minutes, I guess, look at it and see what we discussed, but, you know, it was, if you guys decide not to do it, that's one thing, now I'm okay with that. I'm just saying that, you know, we didn't bring it, we did bring it up, we discussed it, that she did bring it up. I just want to make sure we're very transparent on this issue. We did bring it up, it could have been changed here because it was a PCD. They decided not to, for whatever reason it is. And I'm okay with it as long as we are clear what it, I mean, I don't want any muddy water here, I want to be straightforward here with everybody. I'm uncomfortable with the statement made. It was brought up here, we did discuss, she did bring it in. I remember because I asked you specifically, David, the question about
Yeah, we understand.
the list, and you said, yeah, we can complete, that's what PCD is for. Otherwise, really, the only reason PCD is for that. Otherwise, our city doesn't have that much ordinance right now, that's why we're using a lot of PCD. Otherwise, PCD is specifically used in a specific situation to change it. And if I'm wrong, correct me, please.
I mean, that's what a PCD is for, yes.
I will say, having been at the planning meeting as well, and absolutely, you did bring it up last meeting, that's no question about that, but having been at the planning meetings as well, they spent probably, close to an hour one night going through a whole list of things that this used to have in it. They kept a few of them, they got rid of others, there was a very good discussion back and forth. I will say for the applicant that he has been very cooperative and worked with us on a lot of that. But if that's a concern that we need to address tonight, is that something we could amend tonight?
Well, if, it might be good to kind of continue on the discussion to see what the applicant thinks about that. This is his application and his application, and I think he's willing to admit it. They're willing to make a change. That's one thing. But if he's not, you know, he may want an up or down vote on that. Kind of see where the council is, or he may want to say, hey, give me some time, a week or two to try to see if I can work through some of this. So it might be good for the applicant to discuss.
So what's the specific word that's holding this up? Just the word bar?
Bar, lounge, because I think the two are synonymous. I'm okay with the tavern, because the tavern, you have food, correct? I'm assuming.
Yes.
You have food, you would have it normal.
Lounge usually, yes.
Usually lounges, in my opinion, primarily alcohol and liquors.
So what's it?
Like I said, I'm only one.
I guess our question or concern is, I guess, you know, if it's a restaurant that has a bar included in it for food, drinks, and everything else, is that the issue? Does that fall under the same?
Well, you said you were okay with tavern search, so
I'm
nobody's
okay,
tavern
but
restaurant.
just a bar and a lounge, to me, a bar would be primarily alcohol, you're going to get bar food, you're staying up until midnight or whatever the cutoff is here, and same kind of with the lounge, you probably have, it's more relaxed, you're primarily serving alcohol, maybe some of the herbs. I'm okay with tavern, I'm okay with the restaurant, I just don't want the primary, I guess, thing sold or the attraction to be alcohol based. for a neighborhood that has townhomes that's going next to a residential neighborhood, Brentwood, that's across the street from Ridgewood. And then we have Hillcrest coming up. I just don't think it's a very, plus the townhomes that are right next to a bar. That's the only aspect. If it has a restaurant bar, I mean, they're not gonna be open till, midnight or whatever the cutoff is. I don't know what the cutoffs are.
The restaurant would be a permitted use, so if there was
Yeah,
a
and if
restaurant-
restaurants have you sit at the bar, I mean, that's very common.
I think you want to look at David, I don't have the definitions of all the uses in front of me, but I assume the bar definition says that that's what it's primarily for alcohol, not serve food.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would assume the lounge is kind of the same aspect. A laid back, you're probably having more.
I would assume that as well.
So that's why I say that. Tavern.
Sorry, I'm Patrick Strickland, I'm part of the application too, part of the landowner group. Would that be a conditional use, is that a pretty big order if it's conditional, if we still gotta come through here to get all parts of that approved essentially?
Goes to planning committee.
Because it sounds like, is it the bar part of it, or is it more the hours part of it, I guess is my question.
I mean, to me, the hours and noise level, is nice. Like if it's like super loud music, like compatible with people living within, 100 feet potentially.
Well, those would all be handled through the conditional use process. As far as,
I think there was
Those
probably
designs,
it's a gray area, right? It's a gray area to speak of.
I just
And
don't know if I.
No, I mean, then I think I'm the one for the most part. But I look at it just slightly differently. Because the word, it's hard to, there's a lot of gray area. There's semantics here, there's ambiguity, right? But I think that if we had, to me at least, I don't want to say me, but if I had confidence that the noise level wouldn't be excessive and it wouldn't be like open at 2 a.m., we could restrict the hours, and maybe that comes later, like you said. We wouldn't get something that's incompatible with being next to people trying to get a good night's sleep. We got to work, we got kids.
Or does have kids.
Yeah, I think that's all part of the conditional use process, is ensuring that all those conditions are implemented for each thing that has conditional use. That's why you have permanent and conditional use.
I understand, but other things have come through here, and then all has been approved, and then things don't turn out the way they said they were going to. So I'm just looking, like I said, on one vote, I would like bar and lounge pulled. I brought it up last time. I feel like the dance hall, fine, we can restrict hours on that. Microbreweries, restaurant, that falls in the restaurant industry, hours can be restricted on that. But I am one vote, so.
We like restaurants serve alcohol too, so
That's-
they're very area.
But I'm okay with that, because it's a restaurant, it's like Costa
It
Fina.
serves a community.
And we have a council member who doesn't live too far from that.
It's just like, how do we know that they're the guardrails?
I think in our head, we agree there's a lot of gray area there, which we thought that's what the conditional use was for, which we said, obviously understand that. Is there something we could do on there? It sounds like it's more of a problem that it could just go to planning instead of council, and they get all to say so, and I understand that being a problem maybe. Is there any way we can make it a conditional use that the city council has to be a part of making those terms for them?
Is that possible, Justin?
Not the way that our code currently is. Sorry, I know you're trying to be creative there and think of that, but I don't know the way right now to do that.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
I happen to go to the church that's right across the street. They're planning a playground out there in the front, which is what they originally planned on doing. And I sure would hate to see a bar. On Wednesday nights, we have kids that are in church. And with the playground, they'll be out there. So I really would hate to see a bar or a lounge in there. me, even the tavern, but I understand. But it seems like it's very important to you guys to take a stand on this one issue here about a bar or a tavern. So, I think we'll just let it go to the vote.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have anything set in stone where we're gonna have a bar. We had an institutional use before. I think that's our only standstill, but I don't think we're close to discussing it.
One item too, I might add that, maybe to your point, if there was a use left out of here that in the future you thought, oh, maybe we left this out, the way to address that would be through an amended PZD plan. So you amend your plan, bring it back forward, and have that amended. So there is that option.
I think
that
we're good
would
with
bring it to the council.
Can they recommend to amend it tonight and have that line item struck?
Could they amend it right
Yeah,
now?
right.
Yes, they could, yes.
Yes.
Can we amend the word bar from the inland?
Have that line item struck.
The structure.
What I would recommend maybe, Eric, you want to make a motion on that? And we can see whether that passes.
Yeah, do I hear a motion to amend?
I move to amend striking the word bar from this PZD.
Okay, we have a motion to amend to strike the word bar and lounge from the PCD. Do I hear a second? Second by MC. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, or does that have to go since it's an ordinance?
Well, that was a motion to amend.
To amend,
Yes.
so, okay, so we're good.
Then you can ask for any vote. I'm sorry, any opposed?
Was there any opposed? No.
Okay.
So it passed.
So the ordinance was amended and it was, agreed to by the applicant. Now you can, take that. You already did wait for the rule, right?
Yeah, we waived the rule, and now we made the motion and second to approve, and we were having a discussion. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Yes.
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 Okay, that did pass. So that will be 2025-18. Do I hear, our next item is the ordinance to rezone 39.97 acres located at 116 South Rainbow Road. Do I hear a motion to suspend the rules and place this on third reading? Got a motion by Jeremy. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mark. Any, or let's go ahead and roll call.
Yes.
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 All right.
So ordinance number 2025-19, City of Cave Springs, Benton County, Arkansas, an ordinance to rezone approximately 39.97 acres located at 116 South Rainbow Road from general agriculture A1 to single-family residential R3, the City of Cave Springs, Arkansas.
All right. Do I hear a motion to approve? A motion by Jeremy. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by MC. Any discussion? Roll call.
Yes.
MC.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
Yes. Jeremy.
Yes.
That was passed. Next item on the agenda is an ordinance adopting standard specifications for water and sewer. Do I hear a motion to suspend the rules and place this on third and final reading? A motion by MC. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Erica. Roll call.
MC.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
Erica. Yes. Jeremy.
Yes.
Mark.
Yes.
Ordinance number, down there, that it should be 2025. City of Cave Springs, Benton County, Arkansas, ordinance adopting standard specifications for water and sewer facilities, repealing code provisions in conflict therewith, declaring emergency.
Do I hear a motion to approve? Motion by MC. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Jeremy. Any discussion? Roll call.
Yes.
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 Okay, that was approved, and do I hear a motion to approve the emergency clause?
So
Got a motion by Erica, do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mike. Roll call.
Yes.
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 Okay, that was approved. And if we have no further business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
The motion by Mike, do I hear a second? Second by Jeremy. I thank you all for your service.